Good evening, everyone. This is the welcome to the third of a series of 8 evenings of the 5 by 5 by 5 presentations. 5 means 5 artists. The other 5 is 5 minutes each, and the other 5 is 5 new pieces. And we should get out of here about 8:30, 8:45. Okay, so it's fast and furious here, and I like that, and I hope you do too. Oh, hi. Oh, you said you weren't going to come anymore because the pieces were too short, and I'd never heard that before. Good to see you. And you brought a couple of other faces that are not familiar to me. That's good too. Yeah, well, there was some regulars good over there. And just bow down and go on through that way. That's fine. There's some seats over there. Hi. Oh, good to see you again. Oh, we're just about ready to get started. I hope you all had a nice holiday, Thanksgiving holiday. I had a terrible one. And maybe during the break or whatever, you can come and find out what I mean by that. But I give you one little tip that I realize my family is dysfunctional. I finally realized that after 43 years. Okay, so then anyway, tonight will be 5 people, 5 mostly readable. I mean by that poetry. And so to end this little bit here, I was told, and I saw also in a rerun, that I blink a lot. And I never knew that. So we're going to try something here to end things up.
I'm going to cut my performance short tonight and have my son Ethan up here read some of his short poems.
The unpurchased, the unwanted and forgotten, quiet stirs inside, Without much thought of action, needlessly they hide. Dim, dark, and unsolaced, waiting for a change. The mind is the poorest in quite a long range of agony and sorrow, poor souls in a quell, and with no sight of tomorrow, awaiting some distant hell. They sit and they think of what can't be accomplished. Now on the brink, a discovery of nonsense. Cold breath carries the air, and the glass is all fogged. Never before had they cared, such wonder and awe. They're told to sit but scream down with the law, and then it hits. Even minds can be bought. Oh hell. Sit tight, sleep well, fit right. Oh hell. Open gates, warm embrace. See the members of a race so ghoulish and fiendly, you can't help but feel their rage. Sick smiles, fake eyes, damnation stretches for miles. In every direction, everyone lies. Everyone praises the Lord of Flies. Jumping up, keep him down. Treachery abounds in a place of no happiness, where nobody frowns. You think you can leave, but where will you go? There must be a fee, but how would you know? Just how much you pay? No one can say, but certain is this: you're not living to see the light of day. Welcome to the end. Entrenched in a circle and living in a square, I'm beginning to see them everywhere. Confused and not free, this was never meant to be. Living in misery and constant agony, but nobody cares. Entrenched in a circle and living in a square. There's no cause for alarm, no need to fear. Welcome to the end, my friend. It's finally here.
This is going to be 5 minutes about time. Or maybe it's that the time is going to be about 5 minutes. In 4 poems. Recycle. I watch her standing by the ocean, her face with that clarity that comes before the cares of the world have had the time to make her mistrustful. The sand tumbles from her hands and through her fingers, slipping like honey into the laughing water that laps frigidly at her ankles, numbing her senses. Time passes. She is not yet to know that the falling sand was formed from air that the first amphibians breathed, that the water started life as particles in the sun blown in on the solar wind, and that the seaweed on the shore contains carbon from a dinosaur's sneeze. She asks me, what does recycle mean? And I tell her, sift the sand through your fingers again and look with great care, for everything you need to know is there and here. Chance would be a fine thing. Roll the dice, random number generation 2 through 12. What does the I Ching say about this decision? Spin the wheel again. See where the needle points. Follow the instructions to the letter. Discover your fortune. Pick a card, any card, and I will tell you with absolute certainty what it means in the tarot and what is foretold for you. Know your star sign, your birth date and time, maybe your mother's state of mind, and know your future, the astrologic kind. In Alexandria, there was a library with all the truths of the ancient world within. geometry, algebra, metaphysics in hieroglyphics, before the fire, or earthquake, or flood, or wanton destruction took it down. Maybe everything that is known was known before. Maybe every roll of the dice happened before. Maybe God does play dice with the universe, and maybe we have no control. And it's just a thought that the feelings we brought from the notions we caught, that the knowledge we sought, that we struggled and fought to learn from what we were taught, had no sort of link to the sport that is what life ought to be about. You think life just happens to you, one thing after another, like time. But the reality is, it's there all the time, like a flowing river, and you just happen to it. Voice. I am the ancient law, devouring your neatness with inexorable inevitability, biting at your order and organization, crushing your careful constructions, gnawing at your natural solidity with rust and rot and decay. I am the reason you can perceive time's arrow, the changing and unchanging candle flame, the same and different river, age. For I am chaos, and all things shall return to me and become mine. Rose Ina Amy, who was my mother. If sound really did hang in the air and continue its regular and routine vibration over and over again, would it leave an imprint in inanimate things that I could read or hear? Like a pattern or a negative or a recording? If I could choose to replay one sound, it would be your voice. But I do not know where to find it now, after all this time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I don't know if I'll take that. But today, we are going to be the performer or the tears of the clown, and that is what we are going to be. Why was I the one to be stripped of everything, of flesh and bone and everything that is? Why was I the one to see through all that is in color and black and white? Why was I the one to be stripped of wings, to fall here to the earth, to know that of the sky, of that of the universe? Why was it I? And who sent me here? I say, I do not know, but yet they are putting the strings on my hands, and they're putting the strings on my feet, and they are making me flow and sing. Yes, I can say these pretty words, and I can sing pretty songs, and I can do nice dances, but inside there is the flow of that which has been stripped, empty, being, nowhere to go, no thing comes in, no thing goes out, sitting here in one space, feeling the tears of everything that is gone, Why? Why me? Why must I bring it to you? A reflection of everything. And beings of nothing. Beings of carbon. Beings of moons, of stars, and entities. Lost am I, but yet a shell I am to be in front of you, to sing to you the tears of the common.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Men? What about women? We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men and women are created equal. How come they go first? We hold these truths to be self-evident that all humankind are created equal. What's wrong with you? Man, we had it all worked out. The situation was just right. We had it worked right there. She's right there. And you don't say a freaking thing. What's wrong with you? Oh, man. You always mess things up. Boy, you gotta be so flippin' weird. I just do what I feel. I can't help it. Okay, this is how I feel. You don't want to hear that? I'm sorry, but man, this is how I feel. I don't care how you feel, man. You're fucking weird. Don't you want to belong? Don't you want to be with those people? Nope. Not if I can't speak the way I want to speak. Not if I can't say the words I want to say. You can't say those flippin' words. You can't say those flippin' words. You say the wrong word, man, and they will drag you out in public. They want to have nothing to do with you. What's wrong with you, man? You can't do that stuff. It's not okay to feel that way. And yet I do. And if you can't hear me, if you can't freaking listen to me, I'm going to haunt you. I'm going to mess you up. I tell you what, I'll tell you when you can speak, okay? When it's nighttime, when all the doors are closed, when all the windows are closed and everybody's asleep, then you can say whatever the hell you want. But you whisper, and you don't wake anybody up. You got it? And there's words you can't say. You can't say you can't say shh. And you can't say know what I mean? Now, help me with this. I'm trying to figure it out. Are we American because we're great? Or are we great because we're American? Or maybe it's both. Kind of like that. We're going to build a tower. We're going to build a tower, and we're going to build a big wall around that tower. We're going to build it with bricks, made out of people like you and me. But the only problem is, we don't get along with ourselves. Every brick has a flaw. Every flaw finds a fault. And if I can just get rid of him, I'll be fine. And if I can just get rid of her, I'll be fine. I am free to make my own choices with the person I choose. Don't have to listen to her anymore. I don't have to get along with anybody anymore. I can just choose to be with whoever I want so I can make all the same mistakes all over again. And as soon as we get rid of her, as soon as we get rid of him, as soon as we get rid of Saddam, as soon as we get rid of Osama, as soon as we get rid of George W., as soon as we get rid of Obama, we're going to be fine. what is the sound of one hand clapping? What is the sound of one wing flapping? Attention, ladies and gentlemen, as of January the 20th, 2017, all American Eagles will only have right wings. And in celebration of this on the National Mall at this very moment, there are thousands of American Eagles flapping their right wings with huge enthusiasm, some of them reaching an elevation of several feet before they collapse onto the ground. At the same time, thousands of sore, wounded doves are boarding charter planes with nursing their wounded left arms. And we know which way history has to go. We know which way history has to go, and those who are in the way will be pushed out of the way, shoved out of the way. We must go forward because history does not go round, history goes forward. And if there's one thing I can't stand, it's intolerance. And if there's one thing that we have to do to segregationists, they don't belong in our society. Segregationists should be moved over to their own special place where no one will have anything to do with them. We hold these truths to be irrelevant. Yeah, all people are born equal, but wait a minute. They're all equal until they're born. Because some are born on third base, and some are born in the parking lot, and some are born in a dirt lot, and those who don't have a lot are looking at the lucky bum who was born in the good slot, thinking if I had what you had, I know what I would do. Which side are you on? 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 Because we'll be fine as long as we get rid of those people. And the moment they don't have any control and they don't have any say, we're going to be just fine. We're going to be okay. And we can send them back off to Syria and Mexico and West Virginia and Kentucky and California. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? The ancient truth can stand no enemies. All unbelievers must be found out and rooted out. The new truth cannot stand any enemies. The one true church cannot abide by heresy. In 1692, Catholics could not hold public office in the state of Maryland by law. And if you're wrong, if they're wrong, we're right. And if I'm right, you're left. And if you're left, and if you left, I stayed. True. And if you get left on, then I'm right away. And if you're right on, then I'm left off. Left off. To be continued. And history goes straight. It doesn't go in circles. And to prove that, I'm going to march to the cadence of the American president, starting with Ulysses S. Grant. A right, a right, a right, a right, a right, a left, a right, a right, a right, forward, left, left, right, 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 left, 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 left. Well, you get the idea. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I can't build anything if I don't even get along with myself. What's wrong with you? Just, God, go away. Leave me alone. Just stay in the frickin' basement. Come out when everyone else is asleep. How can we build a tower out of bricks that find fault with themselves? How high can we fly with one wing flapping? I'm seeing red. I'm feeling blue. We're banging heads and we're just getting bruised, but we all bruise purple. And maybe if we bruise each other hard enough, we'll all look the same. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all humankind is created equal. Human kind.
Sam Harley. And to finish off the evening, we have Lorenzo Di Stefano and Friend. Would you like a seat? Okay. Would you like a scoop?
Exactly 1 month ago today, I was having a perfect day, Wednesday, November 2nd. This is Callie. She was in the car. I was at a concert by a young musician named Rachel Flowers at Oxnard College, and it was a great day. I took Rachel and her mom, Jeannie, to lunch at the IHOP in Oxnard. 4 stars. Windows down in the car, parked in the shade, food, water. Callie's been with me in all kinds of weather, all kinds of trips. After a nice lunch, I come out and the driver's window of my car is shattered and the dog is gone. This dog. And that was took the day down a notch. You ever had your soul sink and wonder what happened, how it happened? Jeannie called the cops. They came pretty quickly. One guy, he said, you know, most of that glass is on the outside. I think the dog could have broken out. I know she's got a hard head, but I didn't think so. Not enough room to get some momentum from the driver's seat to the window. The window was down a little. My mind was racing about, is it easier to break a window that's fully closed or sort of closed? All kinds of thoughts. Cop seemed to know what he's talking about. He's been to a lot of scenes where things have happened. I said, well, I don't quite buy it, but he could be right. Then my cell phone rang. Didn't recognize the number, picked it up. Woman's voice. We have your dog. She's fine. We're near the big lot, which is within seeing distance of where I am. Cops goes over there. He tells me, I know these two. They're okay. A homeless couple living in a van with a dog of their own. And, hey, you want to look this way? Come here. Come on. There we go. Let them see your pretty face. Sit down. Come on. There you go. Okay. Anyway, she's on their leash, and she sees me and is straining at the leash to get back. He says, the cop, you may want to give him a little money for the trouble. You know. They said, we found her in the intersection of Victoria and Channel Islands, and we grabbed her. She was like lost, looking for me, probably. So I got her back. On the way back to Ventura, sitting on broken glass, and I looked at her, I said, no cuts on her head, no cuts on her. You think there'd be a lump or something, you know? And I thought of all the Rashomon-like options that could have happened. You know? One was to Oxnard, maybe someone likes pit bulls there, and took her. Broke the window and took her. Okay, that's a possibility. Secondly, someone of an animal rights person didn't like seeing the dog in the car, even though it wasn't hot, it was shady, the windows are open, there's water, there's food, and broke the window to let the dog out, which is stupid because then if you're an animal rights person, the dog's going to get killed. So that was a discounted notion. Third, she broke out herself. Fourth, the homeless people that found her broke the window to get the reward. My mind was running over all these things, saying more about myself than about reality. So it's not one of those things I'll ever know. You know, it's a mystery. And the dog's not talking. Thank you.
Lorenzo. Break that window, come through. Let's get some to say goodnight. That's the graphics man on the second to last there. So I've been cutting corners, so no programs anymore, no food. But there is some food over at Stoneworks. We're a little bit down the street. So that's it for tonight. Any questions at all? It's not, that's awfully fast. Okay, so any burning questions that you might have, like we'll go over after what we're doing or whatever? Yeah. No women? Good for you, good question. Callie's a woman.
Well, I was thinking she kind of qualifies.
That question always does come up. Well, okay, well, thank you again for coming, and it's Yes, a drink. Wow. 35 minutes.